Dustin had come over today, and I don't know, we was chit-chatting, this and that, and then me and Cameron was putting this right rear spring on. The Heims were stuck at the end of that last video, and so I sprayed everything down with PB Blaster, and I unhooked this, well, it's still unhooked the right front, but I like to just stick them on that bolt and just lube them up, and I mean, work the crap out of them things. We got it on there, and I spun the hub. I'm like, hey. Dustin's like, that ain't right. I'm like, oh, I know, but when I got this thing, it didn't spin, you know, it didn't feel like it was locked in, so I thought, they didn't put an axle back in. It ain't no big deal. I've got 2 broke rear ends with axles in them, so I got an axle. And then I don't even remember, we shook it around a little bit or something, and then next thing you know, it's turning the other hub with it. I'm like, what is going on here? Dustin's like, hey, I gotta pull this cap off. I gotta figure out what is going on. So he pulls the cap off. Me and Cameron still mess around doing this and that. If he pushed the axle in, it would bite and turn, which made no sense. And he's like, oh, that bolt. But the bolt pushes him out. So he pulled the axle out, and we look at it, and it looks like it's just, I'm like, man, I done bought this rear end, and it is junk. The splines are stripped in it. Well, I got an axle out of the other rear end that's broke over here in the corner and stuck it in there, and it didn't want to go, but we made it go, and it's working. So the next thing I noticed, I was going to bolt the calipers on tonight, and the caliper bracket on the right rear of the rear end is not tapped into the tube, and it looks like you can tell where they have like it's almost like a set screw, but you drill and tap in there, or you can probably just drill a hole, but you run that bolt in, and it keeps it from being able to spin around the tube whenever you're applying the brakes. Bugs are starting to get bad this time of year. But anyway, so that's another little hiccup. We're going to have to take care of it, but no big deal. We've got a list going. My dad, he was always a list guy, you know, so you couldn't come in here and work on a race car without there being this notebook with a list of shit to do. So I guess I'm going to be a list guy now, because every time I come in here, I think about something else, and then I'll forget it the next day. I've started writing the stuff down. That's just another one of those things that I never had to do, so that's just another thing I have to do now on my own. But this motor, with this being a stocker 350, we thought we better not crank the RPM to her. So Carmen, he's got several gears down there. He let me borrow. We're gonna run a 555. We're gonna try that out. So I don't know. We don't really want to blow her up right away. So 65 plus 100 RPM is probably a good way to do that, and we don't want to do that. So we're gonna run a taller gear in her. I've been a little held up on the J-bar and the pinion mount, because it's got the notches for like the bolt. I couldn't find one. Didn't have an extra one. Well, I was digging through the trailer in there for shocks and springs. I did find one of those, so I'll be able to get that bolted on. I'll be able to climb under there all at one time. I got put the gear in, put more gear oil in it, mount the J-bar, drive shaft, brake calipers, and then pretty much it's ready to fire it off right now. I don't know why I haven't. I guess if I start it and it ain't right, I'm going to quit working on all this stuff and go back to go-karting for the summer. So I guess that's kind of why I just keep working on everything else but that way it's just done. And then down the road, we'll get a motor eventually, somehow, some way. My dad always found a way, so I'll find a way. We do have more rain coming, unfortunately, but we need a little bit of rain on the go-kart track to be able to get it ready. Everybody's wanting to kind of get it ready and ride go-karts, and I'd have to put probably 10 loads of water on that thing to soften it up to dig deep enough to get the ruts and stuff out of it over the winter. So I think I'm just going to let it rain on it, and then we'll work it up, and we'll have us a good day of go-karting coming up. We've managed to get all but one horse in the stable. There is one more car that is outside that it was like a 2008 Blue Gray, and Bill Fry updated it for us in 22, and that my car was actually there. Someone was trying to sell it, so instead of putting that bare frame together, I thought it was like, that's way less work. That other one's it's like ready to go, and I did like a real big overhaul on it and rewired a bunch of stuff and put the fire bottle in and just rerouted, cleaned it up. It's really, really nice. I actually forgot how nice that thing was until I started working on this one here the last couple weeks, and man, my car's really nice compared to this. So it kind of, I don't know. Maybe if we get something going, I'd like to put my car back on the track, but if it happens, it happens. So we're not going to push the issue. Maybe it'll work out. Maybe it won't. That's about all I got for this little update, and it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and Oxy's going to have a fit. So stay with us and keep watching. We appreciate it.